Okay, as you guys know, I made a video on this situation with Tessa Blanchard, and we now know the name and identity of the black woman in question. Her wrestling name is La Rosa Negra, or translated to the Black Rose. Apparently, these two had a relationship prior to 2017, which I'll expand more on later in this video. Well, La Rosa Negra, after Sienna, wrestler Sienna, better known as Allison Kay in the NWA right now, and Chelsea Green, who used to be Lauren Van Ness in TNA and Impact, came out and blasted Tessa Blanchard after Tessa Blanchard made a tweet about women supporting each other. Cool things happen. They blasted her about this incident, accusing her of being a bully and of being racist. Well, here's a quote from La Rosa Negra. She says, quote, "When I saw those tweets, I was in shock and impressed because since 2017, people have been pushing me to speak about something that isn't necessary. I don't like to talk about my personal life. I like to keep myself private. Reading all those fellow wrestlers' tweets that supported me and reading their names, it surprised me. And reading the non-wrestlers' comments, I said, I have to do something. Because it isn't how it says it was. Maybe people took it wrong. I don't want to be overexposed with this. The female wrestlers know what really happened and why I didn't say anything. Now I want to clear things up. Working in the US and Japan, I didn't disrespect anybody. No female wrestlers, promoters, sponsors, or any fans. That's not me. People who know me know how I am. Everywhere I've worked, they can tell you how I behave. I don't like to talk mean about people. I was there supporting people that helped me or didn't. I don't expect to receive any apologies. It's not necessary. I erased what happened. I gave it to God. It saddens me that racism, envy, and bad things exist in sports. It will always be there. As adults, when something bad happens, we can resolve things by talking. There are always a solution. Mine was to forget what happened on that day in April of 2017 in Japan. I think this was a good experience for me because now I know I have a lot of backup. It's impressive. I didn't know so many people knew about the situation until the Twitter thing. I feel fulfilled. I feel tickled. Nothing will dull everything that I have achieved alone. Now, since that time, since this statement came out, Blanchard and La Rosa Negra have actually communicated in private about the situation. And since then, a mutual friend who also claims to have been there contacted the Jobbers Tears podcast via Twitter. And this is what they had to say. Now, you read the statements from the friend via that podcast Twitter page, and I read the statement from the Black Rose. I'll call her by the American name. Suffice to say, whatever you think of the situation, if it's settled between those two, I think at this point it should pretty much be left. Now, will I look at Tessa Blanchard sideways? A little bit. I will. But the way I look at it, there's two sides, and somewhere in the middle is the truth. The truth is something probably got out of hand between these two. They end up in a fight. The Black Rose, from most accounts, handled her business with Tessa Blanchard, handled her business, and she left it alone after that. Now, as for Sierra, Chelsea Green, and Sienna, aka Allison Kay, these two still get no props from me. And I'll tell you why. And I said this in the previous video. I felt like they took advantage of this situation. They saw an opening and an opportunity to go at Tessa, as did the other female wrestlers, but these are the main two. Even though we know now that the story, at least the incident did take place, but we really don't know what went down other than Rosa's account and the account of the mutual friend through the podcast Twitter website. We really don't know. But to me, Sierra and Chelsea Green, at the end of the day, does not deserve to be praised. Because if they really were serious about this, they would have came out with this a long time ago. And people can say about timing, or you making excuses for Tessa all you want. The timing is still suspect. You wait till the night before she's to have one of the biggest matches of her career to say something. You could have said this. I can name at least two, because Tessa Blanchard's been, at least publicly, talking positive about women in wrestling anyway. You could have came out with this when she was in WOW, when she was pumping them up. You could have came out with this after the match she had with Gail Kim last April 2019. You could have came out with this at the end of last year in the fall when she defended women's wrestling with ECW icon the Sandman. But you pick this particular time. I'm sorry. To me, that is suspect. And Rosa, I know you want to be positive, baby girl. By the way, she is cute. I just had to say that. I know you want to be positive and anything about all the support, but really, if those women were really in your corner, they would have came out ages ago. And from the sounds of it, you handled your business with Tessa back in 2017. You wanted to let it go. These other women who probably can't stand her, who probably don't really care about slurs and stuff, they're trying to pretend they do, but they really don't. They just want to take that girl down. They got their own grudges with Tessa, and they just want to see that girl fail. That's all that's about, in my opinion. So be careful. I know you'll probably never see this video, but be careful, baby girl, on that. Because many of these people that are quote unquote supporting you, out of those, let's say 10 women, maybe only 1 or 2 are genuinely in your corner. The other 8 or 9, they just looking at opportunity, in my opinion. So be careful on that. Well, that's really all I got to say on this concerning this incident. Leave your comments down below, and I'm out. Oh, and one other thing I'm gonna say right quick. The whole, assuming that friend was telling the truth, the whole thing about her letting Tessa, they greet each other with the N-word, this is all I got to say on that. That is personal choice. I personally think it's a bad choice. And if that's true, then yeah, Tessa gets an L, but I think Black Rose, sorry, baby girl, but in my eyes, you get an even bigger L. I mean, in my opinion, I just don't think that's cool. But that's between her and Tessa on that one. But anyway, I'm out for real.